And good evening, Reds. What I don't know what we've just witnessed. Kulbir, we've just come back off the back of watching one of the best World Cup matches, certainly of this World Cup. And
Yeah,
for
definitely.
those who, for those who aren't kind of fully caught up, we're recording this just after Argentina winning in the last, in June time against Egypt. So Egypt was winning 2-0, and you're thinking, what's going on? Mo Salah's going to get something. He's going to be in the quarterfinals, but then Messi and crew, and I think it's interesting that we actually want to talk about
Crew
that, don't we?
is the key.
It's
We've got
really, really poignant. I mean,
on the
what were your thoughts
backdrop
about that? Go on.
of having Portugal, Spain being really boring,
Yeah,
and then having Mexico be really, really impressive as well. So,
I
and then
know.
Norway, Brazil, like this is mad. The unexpected games are turning
What
up, and
it
the
is,
unexpected teams are putting performances in.
have you noticed? Have you noticed that the early kickoffs seem to be, apart from today, it looks like today's a bit of a kind of thrown my theory out the window, but generally the early kickoffs have been a bit drab. And that's not to put, any shade on this World Cup, because I think it's been actually an excellent World Cup. But
It's hard to, because the thing is they're all over the shop, aren't they? They have been in these sets, I guess, but the timings are just make no sense. I mean, 1 o'clock in the morning, which became 2 o'clock in the morning. It's just
yeah,
ridiculous. It's
I
impossible to watch
didn't. To be
like that.
fair, I didn't stay up. Did you stay up for the
No,
game?
I'll
No. We've,
play
we've,
next day.
we've got
Done
we've
that.
got adulting to do. We've got children to look after and
I mean, I
whatnot.
woke up at 2 o'clock in the
Power
morning.
to any those that
I woke
can
up
do
at 2
it.
o'clock in the morning and I was like, oh, let's see what the score is. And I was like, they haven't started? And I was like, well, that's a
Yeah.
waste of time. And then I woke up at randomly at 4:30 when my kid came into my bed and I was like, oh, it's still going on.
Oh
So I
right.
watched like the rest of it. And I was like,
Did
oh,
you
what's
really?
yeah, I did. And I was like, well,
What
this sounds like a crazy game.
What were your thoughts about the game anyway? I mean, did you get a chance to watch any of the
I was on the highlights.
highlights? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, uh, England did a good job. They had a very
Yeah.
tactical game. They held out. One of the strategies I was reading about is that the aim was let's get through to the first hydration break.
Yep.
Hydration break, not quarter.
Yeah.
And to see they would need to get through Mexico kind of press and aggressive start and to kind of calm the crowds down.
Yeah.
Just very clever the way they did it. And then they've been manipulating the kind of triangles left and right, haven't they? Between right back, left back, and right wing, left wing, with using Bellingham as kind of like a free player to fill in the gap. So they were quite clever in the way they played. Bellingham was a star, right? I mean, the guy is
Outstanding.
undeniably world class.
He's grown into this World Cup a lot more, and he's becoming the leader that we thought he could be. If he didn't have the distractions. I know we spoke about it before about theories around why Trent wasn't there, but it does seem like he has come into his own. But I mean, we can wax lyrical about Bellingham in surely. But one thing that's come to mind, and I know we've spoken about this particular player, but Jordan Pickford, quietly impressive. Quietly impressive, kind of kept us in, his manic ways, but he made a number of crucial saves that kept us in it.
He did. He's a good shot stopper. He is. But he's not losing his head or being sly. He's in the England team for a reason, right?
Well,
like
is it because there's no one else? But
it's impressive, actually. He probably won't get the credibility he deserves, as keepers often do. But he did a really good job because there were chances. Mexico had chances, and they were dynamic and they were exactly everything we thought they would be.
I mean, the record that Mexico had.
And what was your prediction? What was your prediction?
Oh, do you know what I thought? I thought Mexico was just going to pump England. I really did. I honestly.
I was quite surprised at your negativity.
Well, I don't know if it's about negativity, but you just feel, oh, this is where we get caught out, or England get caught out. They suddenly play a decent team, and then it just takes me back to when we played Croatia a couple of tournaments ago, or the last tournament, whenever it was. So it just becomes a blur because we played them so many times. But it was like the first opportunity that we played a decent team and we got caught out. And then I thought, right, this is the moment, and yet just completely surprised.
They've got the maturity now, though. This England team, I think after having losing a couple of finals, have realised we have to step up against the big teams. And so they knew Mexico were going to be good. and the new Croatia are going to be good, and the other performances that we put in, right? So the
Mhm.
other point is worth making is that there are no crap teams in this cup,
No.
right?
Well, at this stage,
Well,
there's certainly
even in
some
the group
fodder out
stages,
there.
there's not a lot of fodder. I think there's less fodder now than there has been in previous World Cups.
Mm,
Okay, you're getting the quarterfinals is going to be England, France,
yeah,
Argentina, and Spain. Okay,
yeah,
the
yeah.
probably the top four teams. I do think England in the top four teams. But there are some other teams that have done really well, surprisingly well, to get to where they got to. Like Colombia, I didn't expect to be here. I mean, I'm expecting them to beat the Swiss tonight. I didn't expect the Swiss to be in there.
Yeah. Norway.
And Norway, this is the big one, right? This is the point we need to kind of discuss is like, who makes the team?
Yes.
Because Norway worked hard. They worked bloody hard against a team that didn't work that hard.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really have any legs. They got an old midfield. And when Guimaraes is your best midfield player, I think
Yeah.
you've got a problem. No, he's not a bad player, but he's not a great player. He's not a world-class player.
No.
So
No.
if you are relying on Vinicius Jr. to score your goals,
Yeah.
and him scoring them by himself because he's not really someone that gets in the end of crosses or anything, then that's not going to happen. It's not
Mm-hmm.
going to work. Whereas look at Haaland. You see a great video of the camera just on him, and he's just walking around, and then suddenly he runs into position, heads the ball to the goal, and you're like, guy is just incredible.
He the way that he handles probably one of the top 3 central defenders in the Premier League, in Gabriel. You know, he made him look silly throughout the game. That movement for his header was just phenomenal. It's what if you were a striker, if you're a young striker, if you have aspirations to get into that type of position, you just need to watch Haaland, because when he's on it, his movement, his finishing, his ability to read the game is just phenomenal.
I also, and this is partly my problem, I don't give him enough credit.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk
does,
about you being a striker, mate. I thought, yeah, you know.
and I don't give him enough credit because he's like Alisson, right? He doesn't score wonderful goals. He's just in the
Mhm.
right place at the right time for the tap-ins. And Alisson makes the save too easy because he's in the right position at the right time. He
Yeah.
doesn't do grandiose saves.
Mhm.
I think Haaland is just a completely different person. Like, he is an old school striker. Then there's never been anyone as good as him.
Yeah.
Because he can't score this many goals. I mean, those 2 goals he scored, I mean, the first was a simple header, which was not as simple as you think. Secondly, he shoots from outside the box so precisely, so hard, through the defender's legs. No chance the keeper was going to get it. And that's just come out of that, just getting the ball and just whack, bang. Like, incredible.
Again, coming back to Brazil and their defense, why didn't they close him down? They know it's on his left foot. He has a very thunderous shot. I was going to use a particular another word, but absolutely brilliant left foot. Why didn't they close him down? Why did I think it's just a little bit too much respect, and it's cost them.
End of the game, fatigue. It's what happened with Liverpool in the Premier League, right? They just stopped closing people down towards the end. They just score goals, either deflections. If you're too close, they should deflect miles away. If you're a bit further back, you'll deflect a bit closer to the goal. And that then leads you to kind of being open. And that was naivety on Brazil's part, despite having, like you said, one of the world's best defenders in their team. So Norway, work hard, rely on Haaland to score their goal.
Yeah, exactly. And I've just brought up the current top scorers of the World Cup, and I think it kind of comes into what we were discussing offline and what we want to discuss here today. But so far, with 8 goals, Lionel Messi leading. He's just phenomenal. I mean, let's talk about Argentina. So the question before that is, are teams too reliant on single or singular players to be successful, or do you need a team to win this World Cup?
There are examples of the players that have won the World Cup for their team. Messi is an example last time, and people like Diego Maradona and Ronaldo, the old Brazilian Ronaldo.
Yeah.
He did the same thing.
Mhm.
I don't. These are the players that can kind of change a tournament. That's not happening this tournament because I think that a lot of teams are a bit more wise to the game and they know how to shut down their big players, which is why Argentina are going to win this World Cup. I say it again. I'll say it every single time because I'm convinced they're going to win it, and I'll stand by that when they do, and I'll point to my first prediction the first time we spoke. Because
Yeah.
they're a team that have Messi, And they're a team that Messi just draws the defenders towards him, and the rest of the teams just kind of then impact. And they can just do and score, all of them can score goals. And it doesn't have to be Messi, and he doesn't have to be the person that kind of creates everything, but they rely on him to distract the teams.
Yeah.
Everyone's scared of him.
So it was interesting. Prior to this, I would have said the opposite. I would have felt that Argentina were too reliant on Messi, but therefore today's performance kind of goes against that. And
Nah, it's
you
happening
see,
before. There's too much limelight. There's too much limelight on Messi. As
yeah,
always, like we're swayed by the media all the time.
hmm
Not Norway dependent on Haaland. There's no doubt, because no one's scored many goals, right? But the team are working hard. They're not dissimilar to Argentina, right? The team work hard and scores a goal. Argentina working hard, but they integrate with Messi. They're not reliant on Messi. I think in the older days they were reliant on Messi, and which is why when he was younger he failed at winning cups.
Yeah,
because he didn't win the cups. That's why he almost retired from international football before he came back and won the Copas, and then he won the last World Cup.
yeah.
And
I mean, the point I was gonna get at was the complete contrast between Messi and the team and the way. I mean, that the celebration at the end kind of tells you everything
yeah,
around the performance and how they want to work for Messi. Compare that to Ronaldo and the Portugal team, and essentially the discontent from Ronaldo and the disappointment and probably the pure anger coming out of him because he's not going to achieve what he's actually wanted all his life, and that's a World Cup.
And this surprisingly is his best opportunity because there's never been as good a Portugal team as this.
Yeah, true.
The players are all
Absolutely.
phenomenal.
Got Champions League winners, multiple Champions League winners in that midfield. You got Bruno, what's his name? Yeah, Bruno Fernandes. Constant, play the season or for his club, and yeah,
Nuno Mendes. These are ridiculous players. They're world-class players, but they haven't got a striker, or they haven't got a striker that lets anyone else score.
Do they have the right coach though? The right coach that's going to make the ballsy move, which is comparison to Scolari or comparison to Thomas Tuchel, who's made some astonishing calls this World Cup and prior to the World Cup with his squad announcement.
Well, he's gone now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. I thought this might be his opportunity to actually then create a team that works together because he has the players that want to work together.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking about this quite a lot. Like Ronaldo has been criticised for walking around. Messi walks around.
Yeah.
Haaland walks around. That was harsh on probably Ronaldo, but he doesn't deliver, and he doesn't deliver for the team. And whenever he talks, it's always I, and that's what bothers me about Ronaldo. He's not the same as Messi. He's booed a lot.
We've spoken about it. He's on what, nearly 970 odd career goals for club and country. I mean, you can't
he
mess
will hit
with
1,000.
Yeah, he will because of where he's playing. But there's more to winning personal accolades compared to team accolades, and it's such a difference. Now, I mean, next in the list, Kylian Mbappé, 7 goals, who's then backed up by Dembele, who's got 4 goals.
Dembele's got 4 goals?
Yeah, he's 5th.
He's
had a hat-trick. He had a hat-trick, didn't he?
First 4 goals ever in a competition.
Really? All right.
Yeah, he hasn't scored for the national team in a long time.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, does that show you what the point is? Is probably the joint favourites, the clear favourites, whatever you want to be, whatever side of the fence you live on. But it's just showing, to be successful in this team, you need other players to be coming up. So Kylian Mbappé, he's got a second foil in Dembele. I guess Harry Kane has that Jude Bellingham foil to lean on. Is there more that we need? Is there more from Argentina? Can they make up for it?
Yeah, I think they can. The problem we have, I think, is a big difference in France and England. I think England are trying to play with some strategy. I'm not sure if the French have a massive amount of strategy. I just think they have all the world-class players. So we're not relying on one player; they're relying on all their players because all their players
Yeah.
are really, really good. So all of them can step up whenever Mbappé can't score goals.
Hmm.
Is that enough? That's like the old school Brazil way of winning World Cups, right? Like
Yeah.
all the players could score goals. So I don't quite think that's the same thing. I think that's just they're in a blessed period right now where they have the best players in the world. The French team, Thierry Henry, Didier Deschamps, that won everything. That
Yeah.
team was a team,
Hmm.
right? They played incredibly well together. This French team don't play incredibly well together. The best player in that team is Elise, but
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
won't get enough credit for that, right?
No. No. No.
I mean,
He's. It's. It's so. We've missed we missed a boat when it came to Elise. In terms of English teams, and I think I've said it before already to you or to on this channel anyway. Liverpool and other teams in the Premier League were sleeping on Elise for such
yeah,
a long time, and he's come up and he's shown how good he is in this French team. Probably is their best player in terms of being the glue for what France are trying to do. I know you're talking about potentially the lack of structure, but he offers that. I
he does.
believe anyway.
He does.
Watching him,
And I think their balance of the midfield has been slowly worked out.
yeah,
I think they're working out how to put him and Dembele in the same team. Because on the
yes,
other side, you've got Doué or Barcola.
yeah.
I don't think that position shifting.
That's another thing. I'm so surprised that Doué isn't getting the game. Maybe we're again probably dismissing Barcola. Again, I didn't think his finishing is as good as it should be. Considering when he's got Doué, who's probably 150 million pound player sitting there on the bench of the French team. But is there more to this team, or did Deschamps that he's trying to bring in? I don't know. I mean,
That's
time will
interesting
tell.
Doué doesn't play. He played the first game and didn't do great.
No, no.
And then suddenly he's not played again. Which I find always injured, which we don't know about. I don't know.
Mm,
But I did find that quite peculiar that Barcola has been playing. He scored a red goal recently as well.
yeah.
But he's just embarrassment of riches, right?
Hmm.
So the distinction then in England is England actually trying to play with some structure. They have a terrible defense, like, which is stupid because they've got Konza who's all right, but they've got
Well, Jarrell Konza's now. I mean, I know you talk about Konza, but Kwanzaa, he's suspended, and
he
they've
is
already lost.
suspended.
Yeah, so they've already lost Reece James,
Reece
Spence.
James not going to come back.
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
And
if it's his hamstring,
Mark Gay is he? Because I thought Mark Gay was like, I think last year I started really noticing because we were going to buy him and then we didn't buy him and then he basically
hmm,
beat us.
yeah, yeah.
And I was like, is this guy this good? And maybe he is this good, but he isn't performing at the England level as I expect.
No, maybe a little bit undercooked in terms of
Yeah,
minutes on
surprisingly
the
undercooked.
pitch.
Same as Konza,
Yeah,
undercooked,
under,
right? And then Gerald Konza is experienced. I think that is an unlucky
but he's
tackle. His
but he's
timing was off.
not a right back. He isn't a right back.
No, he never has been. Never played right back at
No,
Liverpool.
no.
It's because he didn't bring Trent.
No, no. And is that going to be the Achilles heel in this English team?
Maybe.
You Again,
I also think it's
only time would
disappointing. I still don't think Rice has a role. I think Rice is slowly coming into it because I don't know how he's fitting with Bellingham and Kane because they both drop back and go deep and Anderson. So, and unfortunately, Henderson managed to kind of break his fracture his
oh,
wrist, is it? After doing a sort of jumping over a border.
that was
Board.
crazy. I saw on Instagram and I had to post it. There's a moment in Shaun of the Dead. I don't know if I'm kind of
Yeah.
going on a tangent. And there's a part in the movie, if you haven't seen it, watch it. There's a part in the movie, Shaun gets up, goes into the garden, gives it a bit of a, one liner and then jumps over a fence and topples over. It's just reminded me of that moment with Jordan Henderson. Unfortunately, he's broken his wrist. It was a pretty bad break. I don't know if you've seen it, but I've seen the video
I see
and it
the
looks
video.
like a
It's
bad
awful.
break. Yeah, not
And
great.
it's a strange one because it's like, well, what we can do now? Because I think John Henson provides quite a lot of leadership.
Yes, I mean he'll be there still to remain with the team. I wouldn't suspect that he would be leaving the England camp. I still think he'll stay there, and he'll be.
He's having surgery.
Yes, yeah. I
I
guess.
wonder if he's having that.
Mm, You're the doctor in the house, mate, so I don't know how long it would be.
Well, if it's wrist surgery, they'll just cast it and you'll be fine with the car.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Medical opinion just given there to you. Spain, interesting one, actually, because
Yeah.
they're I always get his name wrong. Ayifabal, Arifabal, 4
Oh, yeah,
goals.
Starbull.
Arifabal, there we go. 4 goals. Wasn't
Surprising.
great. He's right, yeah. I mean, he's probably really underrated. 17 goals or 18 goals in 17 matches, 18 matches. So he's at this point one of the leading goal contributors in world football at the international level. So he's definitely performing. But is there more from the Spain team? Because against
Spain. What
against
do you think of
Portugal,
tactically?
weren't poor. They were really poor.
I don't think they had much execution. Marino proved himself like he does at Arsenal. Like he's such a great player. He's so understated, Marino. Like I can't believe what he scores goals out of nowhere, and he scores last minute with his head, with his feet. The guy is actually pretty talented.
He is, but I
I don't
don't
even know
think
what his
he's a
main position is.
90-minute player. I don't think he's a 90-minute player for me. I think he's more impact sub, coming off the, if you need a goal, you throw him on because he's someone that can do something.
But do you remember the Spanish? This is like PSG Arsenal, right? The
Mm-hmm.
Spanish team played beautiful football. Didn't really demonstrate it against Portugal. Portugal went hard, by the way.
Yeah.
They went hard to kind of stop Spain from kind of dominating, but Spain still had a lot of possession. But they have a style of playing. They have a formation that works. They just don't deliver the goals. Sometimes they do what the old Spanish team always does: is overpass the ball, right?
Yes.
So they do that. They don't have many finishers, natural finishers. I don't think, or out-and-out goal scorers. But they can win everything if they choose to. If they kind of click into gear, and Lamine Yamal kicks into gear, they could take it all. But they haven't
Have you
done that
been
yet.
disappointed by Yamal? I know we've spoken about kind of key players, Messi, Mbappe, Haaland, Kane, people like that. Ronaldo and Yamal, probably the biggest disappointment so far in the World Cup
He
for you.
hasn't. He's been injured, hasn't he? So he never played 90 minutes. I think he started last game or the game before.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the biggest things. Let me check, actually. I wonder if how much he's actually played. So let's have a look. In the last game, he was playing obviously in the last one, and then he played against Austria. Did he play? I think he started against Austria. Yeah, he did. Went up for 85 minutes. I think that was his first full game, right? In Uruguay, he was on for Uruguay. His first 2 games, I don't think he played. I think he playing for. Yeah, no, I tell a lie. He missed the first game against Cape Verde. That's what it was. He didn't start against Cape Verde. Yeah, there's only really 1 game he hasn't played. So he's not really started to warm up yet. But the team are feeling blanks, and they did fine against Portugal. They should have made that a bit easier to be.
It probably
bit of time.
should have. Probably should have scored his opportunity in the first half anyway. But it's interesting, actually. Just having a look at the top assists. So top of the pile is Michael Olise. Not surprising. 5 assists so far. Diaz for Morocco with 4. Bruno Guimaraes with 4. Isak with 3. And then a little bit further down, Florian Wirtz with 3. It was joint 4th. I don't remember any of that. Got to be honest. I don't remember any. I love Florian, and I think he will come good for Liverpool, especially with this new coaching setup. But I just don't see him in games. I don't see him in this German, or it's probably telling, considering Nagelsmann has walked or been dismissed. But this German team with the players that they do have were poor.
Yeah, they were really poor. They can't embarrass themselves.
They've got all the tools, though. That's the thing. They've got all the tools to be able to be successful. Yet, no.
I don't know how good Nagelsmann is. Well, let's see what Jurgen does. It's going to be interesting, isn't it?
I mean, tailor-made for him. I'm so happy for Jurgen. In the sense, it's probably the right job, and the job that he's probably waiting for. He probably didn't want another club job, considering he took on that.
He's not going to do that.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, he took on that, I guess, advisory role for Red Bull and just kept him lukewarm in the situation, if as
But
such.
it kept him hated by Dortmund fans.
Yeah, I know, but
It's good
he,
for him. I mean, I don't think Germany had much of a strategy at all, really. It doesn't look
no,
like they knew how to play. So I think of all the teams, Spain is the one that has the most strategy in the way style of playing, I think.
style of
I think,
play.
yeah, I think Argentina have a style of play focused around Messi, whether
Yeah,
he's the target man or the distraction for other players.
hmm
Uh, I don't really see a lot of strategy from the others. I don't see the French with a lot of strategy. I think they just attack, give the ball to
explosion.
Mbappé. It's explosion, yeah.
That's just what I've seen from France. It's kind of bursts of just pure quality and
Yeah.
seeing through. You know, we've seen plenty of flair teams, and they probably are the most flair team. You know, Ric Flair, Woo kind of team in this World Cup, but will it get you results against teams like Argentina, who will be dogged and have
Yeah.
structure?
Is that grit and determination, which is why they'll get through to the end, I think. So England has started to show a bit of grit. I don't think there's much
Yes,
grit being shown by anybody else, to be honest, because England did well in Mexico. I mean, that was a landmark performance, and that's going to give them
yes.
belief.
Again,
They will beat Norway. But once
yeah.
again, let's see what happens, right? Because as soon as the teams, so what we're talking about, the lesser teams, right? The fodder, as you called them, they're
hmm
not so much fodder anymore because what they all started to do was low block, counter fast,
Yeah.
right? A lot of African teams have been doing this, and the other South American teams, and that works because, like I said, make the joke, they do what Arsenal did, right? They won the league with it. So that strategy works against a big team. So when England are playing poor, and I always made this point, right? When the team does a low block and they counter well, the team attacking is so exposed. And if you catch them off a corner, you're going to concede goals, right? Simple as that. It's the risk reward, right? And when they don't take a risk in the playing against someone like England, they're not going to win. So the strategy against Mexico was Mexico went out, and England actually deliberately didn't try to counter them or too much. They kind of sat back a bit, defended deep, just
hmm
soaked it up for a bit longer, and then they started to work moving forward, which was a clever strategy. And I think
Yeah.
that worked very well for them because I think Mexico could have been picked off earlier. But look what happened. Got to 10 men. They had to really bed down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Uh,
so I think we do have a strategy, and you can see they're tactically trying to improve. I don't think the flow is right. I don't think the defense is good enough. I think the right wing, left back inversion aspect or bombing forward aspect
yeah.
isn't working yet. And I don't think they had the right combination. And they're too reliant on Kane, too reliant on Bellingham, and Saka's not able to deliver.
I'm I'm still not convinced about Declan Rice. I know you kind of just mentioned him earlier today. But yeah, I'm not seeing it. I think Elliot Anderson's a better fit for this team, or I guess the style of football that Tuchel's trying to play. I don't think Declan has that ability to do
Declan,
what we
is he
need him.
kept there for free kicks and corners, right?
Well, I mean, if you just look at his heat map, is it just corners? It was funny. I was talking to a couple of colleagues and both Arsenal fans, and I mentioned a point about Declan, and they instantly asked me the question. Well, if you got a corner, who do you want it to be? Which player do you want to be taking that corner kick? Declan Rice. I'm like, is that all he offers? Is
Trent
there nothing
Alexander-Arnold,
else? Yeah, yeah, but
he could be a right back and your free kick corner taker
yeah, no,
for the Declan Rice. Now,
mm,
I'm going to say something I've never really said is that I don't really rate Declan Rice. I've never seen him do anything amazing. I've always thought him to be like a better version of Henderson. Hard worker, all over the place. He started to become more attacking for Arsenal. And I think the real problem was that he wasn't good enough to do it. So I think he was allowed to be free because you had Zubimendi behind him.
yeah,
So I gave him the freedom he wanted to then create a bit more, score a couple of free kicks, take some corners. But actually, I don't see him as like a big presser. I don't see him. He's probably okay as a defender, gets tackles in,
hmm
makes up play, but he's not amazing. He's box to box, pretending to. He's a box to box, pretending to be an attacking midfielder. I don't think he is.
yeah. I mean, I look at his passing map, and it's a lot of sideways, a lot of short passes, a lot of backward passes. Is he able to what we would expect? So, I mean, Ryan Gravenberch, when he
Great
was in,
line.
yeah, I mean, if we are able to look at that movement, that the Gravenberch move, the way that he is able to roll his man. I've never been able to see Declan Rice do that. He offers other things because he has a great engine, but I can't see anything else really other than the engine and corner taking and the ability to take a good free kick.
Because it's like the McAllister thing, right? What does McAllister do? But then you
Mm,
notice he's bad, doesn't do anything. But when he's good, you see him everywhere.
yeah.
I always think that particular type of like the number 8 role is not very clear
Mm,
in many teams. It's hard to know what they actually do. Unless you look at the pressing team of Klopp, the midfield all did everything, right? They were everywhere, but they weren't necessarily doing the attacking or scoring.
yeah.
They were breaking the play, they were keeping the ball, but they're not quite like Silva. So Silva can do it. Silva can play anywhere.
Yeah.
He's like the modern iteration of kind of Iniesta, right? That's
Hmm.
how I see Silva. We don't. Those players don't exist, right? Declan Rice can't hold the ball, can't turn things, can't pass the ball, can't keep running really fast, can't score goals. Had a good season at Arsenal.
We say that. You know what's going to happen? He's going to put in an absolute world class performance.
I'll be happy against
Yeah.
Norway or against Argentina.
Yeah, true. Do you know what? We haven't actually spoken about one team just yet, and they're probably possibly going under the radar. But Belgium, you
Belgium
know,
did so. The USA match, right? Everyone made a
um,
big fuss and and it is embarrassing for FIFA, like legitimately embarrassing. They should never
yeah,
have done that. And but the worst thing is that team is so overhyped, and as soon as they came up against a good side, they got
yeah.
battered. Belgium didn't do very well. Who were they playing in the old down? I want to say Ivory Coast.
So Senegal
Senegal, and
before that,
they just managed to win at the end, right?
yeah.
And they haven't been great. But Belgium always been the golden generation, like how the England golden generation. Belgium had their golden generation. They're not there
Hmm.
anymore. But they have players that can do the business, right?
Yeah,
So I haven't seen enough of them to really comment on how they play. But I can't see them producing the goods. Who they
yeah.
got
I mean,
playing now, are they?
they're playing Spain
Long-
in the quarters.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think the 4-1 potentially flatters them, because I think it's more a case that US lost their heads, bottled it,
That's not what
potentially.
people said. Did you see it? I didn't see any of the highlights.
Yeah, I saw the goals, and the quality. Again, crazy moments. The goalkeeper coming out. I'm not sure what he was doing, and then their last goal, the defender in the right back position, dawdling, losing the ball. It's just crazy moments. And at that level, you're going to get punished.
And that is pressure and the experience because they're not a great
Yeah,
team. They don't
no,
have great individuals.
and so Spain versus Belgium is going to be an interesting one. Can I, if you want to, prediction?
I think Spain will get through.
Spain.
I think
And
Spain will
so,
step up. I think they'll play through Belgium.
yeah,
Belgium will get
uh,
your goal, but I think they'll win like 3-1 or
3-1. There you go.
yeah.
I
I think that's golden
think
goal.
Spain, yeah, 2-1, 1-0. Not, nothing crazy, but I think they'll just have enough to get past them. France, Morocco. We haven't spoken
Well,
about Morocco.
the French will beat the Moroccans. There's no doubt about that. It's just
Yeah,
Moroccan will get goals though.
yeah. They've got flair. Again, probably
Okay.
two of the more expansive teams in this World Cup, and they're coming up against each other. Obviously, there's history in terms of, French Morocco, in terms of geography and culture and cross continent movement between
Yeah.
people. I think there'll be an interesting one there.
No, I agree. I think it'll be a good game. I think they're probably two of the most exciting teams that this World Cup has.
Mm.
So
Any prediction?
I think the French will win. There's no doubt
Yeah,
about that.
I
And I
think.
think it'll be once again. I don't think it'll be a low scoring game. I think it'll be a high scoring game. I think the French will take it.
Yeah, yeah. So that's France, Morocco, Spain, Belgium. Then the next one's Norway, England. I think you're saying that England will win.
A boring, low-scoring match.
It's 10 o'clock on Saturday. In terms of temperatures, it's potentially better for England, better than what it was before with the heat and being able to play. But you would think the quality should be better.
Tuchel must be thinking that their job is to kind of press hard and get the ball to Haaland. So he's got to make sure that the crosses don't come into Haaland. Simple as that, right? And
Easy said than done, though.
Easy done. I don't think Martin Gay should be able to handle him because he plays with him, right? He understands him.
Yeah.
He should be able to, but he'll be targeting Konza. There's no way that.
Oh no, Konza will be. So Konza, I don't know. Do you play John Stones just for experience?
Yeah, John Stones probably a better option, to be fair. Because John Stones and Mark Gay will play together, so that might be a better option against Haaland. You can't afford Haaland any opportunities, right?
No.
The same way Liverpool will function, right, when Virgil was on it.
Mm-hmm.
The other, whoever was playing next to him most of the time, Konate, had to be on it because we have to be defensively on it. Can't let an opportunity come because if he goes, he'll score.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that means you have to get your midfield working well. You have to be them pushing. And then they'll work hard. So we have to then absorb and then they'll have a bit of a low block as well. So I think it's going to be a tough game. Because Norway will play to their strengths and having one of the best strikers positionally, not individual flair scoring goals out of nowhere, that's not what he does. But any opportunities that will come, he will score. Right? We talk about players that should have scored goals and there's opportunities that came their way. With Norway, they take opportunities.
Yeah. I think the right side of defence, I think for me, the right side of defence is going to be incredibly important because the way that Haaland kind of plays, and you need the right back to be able to handle the left winger, who's going to be getting crosses. Yeah, exactly. Tuchel needs to get that right. If he doesn't, it's game over because he just needs one or two chances and he's got one or two goals.
Yeah.
He's that lethal in front of goal, Haaland, and he's proven. And I'm happy for him. I am generally happy, regardless of where he plays club football. I'm happy for him to be able to show the world how good he is. I think he's a top lad. He's funny. He's got some really great moments in him. Just a shame that he plays for a terrible run club. But yeah, I'm just really
His interview was like, we have no right to be the Brazilians. Like this is like the biggest dream come true.
Yeah,
we never expected to be here, and like very humbling actually.
You know what? You're right. Did you see his reaction at the end of the Brazil game? He was holding his head. He's like, he couldn't believe it. He was like, this is what dreams are made of. You go to the World Cup, you put in that performance and you beat the Brazilians at the World Cup in America's, wow. Dreams have like come true there.
Incredible. That was an incredible moment for him. And I think it's downplayed, right? People don't, people only talk about Messi, Ronaldo, England. It upsets me and Mbappé, because this is why I feel like the presses only care about the big guys, and that's fair because even Haaland should be getting much more credit than he's given. And I liked the bit at the end where he was beating the drums for the celebration, which I thought was a really lovely touch.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's definitely been really good matches. Like that's another really really good impressive match. So the last prediction is going to be Colombia going to beat the Swiss. I refuse to believe they're not going to beat the Swiss.
So currently 22 minutes at time of recording, 0-0. So Colombia versus Switzerland. That's in Vancouver. So don't know if that makes a difference, but the winner of that takes on Argentina. Either way, whoever goes through, Argentina should see that through and get to the semi-final, potentially against England.
We're looking at an English-Argentina semi-final here. And if that's what it gets to, he succeeded, right?
Who's this? Tuchel?
Yeah. If he gets to, if he goes out in third or fourth, that's a respectful position. I don't think, are we really expecting us to win the World Cup?
Strange things have happened, considering. No. So the reason why
not for England.
I know that. Yeah, I get it. It's just
Semi-final
Well,
exit is very respectable,
it
especially
is
to
absolutely. You
Argentina,
know,
the couple of years.
you don't want to be getting to a final and losing. We've been on the end of that. More recently, if you speak to Arsenal fans, they would tell you as well. It's not a great place to be getting to a final. One step too far. The reason why I'm like, could they do it? It's just potentially, have we seen some fallibility in Argentina? So interestingly, against Cape Verde, 3-2. Against Egypt, 3-2. If they play Colombia, who kind of passionate team, potentially, again, underdogs, could they just
Can we do it
go
again?
all out? Yeah, you just never know. I think it'd be interesting to see how Argentina perform in the quarters.
I think Argentina will be fine. They've got the experience. That's
Got
the
the
thing, right?
experience. Yeah,
Yeah, and they got
yeah.
the belief. I mean, this is the thing why I've said the very first match I watched, I was like, that team believes. Look what they did today. They believe.
I want to ask you a question, because I was thinking about it. I wanted to ask you and get your thoughts about it. Why was Messi crying so much at the end of today's game? What was
Because
it? He missed a
it
penalty?
was
Or
no, it's the mammoth achievement. It's
yeah,
like the overcoming of such a huge odds, right? This is a guy that still cries over losing to Liverpool 4-3, right?
yeah,
This is a guy that wins. This is a guy that's seen his team win, and it wasn't him that did it. I think the tears came from like the sheer joy of watching his team overcome, and partly maybe not rely on him to do it because he missed a penalty, right? Scored a great goal though.
Oh yeah. I mean, massively clutch moment. And if you wanted the ball to land to anyone at that moment, it would be Messi. It was interesting also, the celebration with the team lifting them up, throwing them in the air. Kind of, is that? Am I just being too romantic in terms of the team holding Messi in this respect and
Oh, the thing
lifting
is,
him up?
I think he's overwhelmed by this, right? Because he's done it now for a few years, hasn't he? With the
Yes.
Cobras and with the last World Cup, he's their talisman, right? He's not the Ronaldo, right? Who is like, come through me, I will deliver this for you.
Hmm.
That's the difference. Messi's not saying that anymore. And I don't know this, obviously, but this is how I read this. As
Yeah.
before, Messi couldn't have that responsibility, and
Yes.
then took the responsibility of inspiring his team to win. And now his team is doing him, and he's not having to do everything himself. And I think
Hmm.
that's like an awe-inspiring moment for him. Like he's finally given the reins over to other players because they've delivered for him. That was it Martinez who scored?
Yeah.
Enzo. What
Enzo
a goal!
Fernandez.
What a
Yeah.
goal!
Yeah.
Right, stunning header, and that didn't come from Messi. That was last
Hmm.
minute, and
Yep.
it was like, wow, look at this team around me. Like they're all believing, and they're not just
Hmm.
relying on him. And I see that somewhat obviously. I think this comes to my question to you. I feel like this World Cup is better than the last one. I thought the last one was pretty good, despite being a Winter World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I love the fact that it was winter, it was cold, but yeah, I got to watch 3 games a day, and it was just great. But in terms of just sheer spectacle of matches, regardless of political views and outside interference, we could have another half an hour discussion about FIFA and politics and whatever happened there. But in terms of sheer spectacle of the games, brilliant, love it. What
Yeah,
what a what a competition, and it kind of just proves what the World Cup can be and should be
last
going forward.
last minute winners, extra time, penalty shootouts. Been very
Yeah,
very entertaining.
yeah, yeah. Obviously the odd boring game, but we want shocks. We want talking moments, and there's been plenty.
And you want great goals. Greatest
Yeah,
goal was who has got the greatest goal? It
Cape
was
Verde. Oh, sorry, no, you're talking about this World Cup.
yeah.
I
Who
really
scored the
like
goal?
the Cape Verde goal from the left
Chicago.
wing, and he just bent it into the
Oh yeah,
top corner.
that's the best goal. Best goal of the tournament.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
I think that's the best one.
Unbelievable. What a
Um,
stunning finish that was.
yeah,
It's unexpected as well. Because you're
yeah,
like, how are they not losing? And it's suddenly bang. And you're like, whoa, that's just incredible. Incredible moment. It's NTA World Cup. I don't think the French have been tested. I think the Spanish have been tested. I think the only team that's been tested are England, actually, and Argentina.
and Argentina. I think Argentina have come up against some decent teams.
Yeah.
Sorry, not I would have come against dogged, aggressive cup type teams,
Yeah.
typical cup matches. What we've seen in FA Cups, the underdogs coming in, lower league
Yeah.
teams, lower coming against the giants of world football or English football and doing really well.
You do not want a
England,
team to just constantly win easily because they will
yeah,
become stuck. So England have now had to do that twice.
you become complacent, don't you? If you just rely on your reputation,
Yeah.
on your standing in world football, you're just going to get undone. And I think Brazil found out against Norway.
Yeah. And I think the French will come a couple of that as well.
Against Spain, potentially, or
Spain,
Belgium.
definitely. Definitely
Yeah.
Spain. Belgium will, yeah. Spain will. There's a good chance that Belgium will come up against them and be hard on them and they have to come back. You need that. Spain scored the last minute was a big deal for them.
Mm, yeah.
You've got to
Yeah.
deliver at the right moments. You've got to be able to deliver.
That's it.
And teams always grow, right? They always
Mhm.
mature into these competitions. They've got to get to the end.
We've seen it, Italy, for years doing the same thing. Be terrible at the beginning, but then come good when they need to. And
Yeah.
it's a long competition. And hard to tell. And I think that's the interesting thing. It's hard to tell who's going to win what game because that's how good this World Cup has been so far.
Yeah. So yeah, I do think it's better than the last World Cup. And last World Cup, I was quite impressed. Really, all I remember was that it was a Messi show.
Yeah, it was the Messi tournament, wasn't it? Definitely.
And this isn't the Messi tournament. Although you could easily bid it at that, but it shouldn't be because that's not what this is.
No. When you look back at it, you probably see lots of it's the joy of the World Cup in terms of a carnival of football coming in. We're going to end it on there. I think it's been a great discussion. Hopefully you've enjoyed it listening in. If you like it, give us a comment on your thoughts. Subscribe. It will be available on all channels, Spotify as well, which is coming in now. So really, really happy. We're going to come back and try to do some more World Cup before we get into the nitty gritty of English football and Liverpool returning. I'm Charlie. This is Kulbir. Good night. Thank you, Reds.
Theatre, thanks for your time.